Hi, Professor Hill. This is one of your students, Tu-moua in EDUU 607. And this is a PowerPoint that I would like to walk you through with regards to my research. My research's title is called A Comparative Research Analysis of Singapore, Canada, and the United States. Preparation and Training of School Leaders. I'd like to give you a quick description of my two comparative countries, Singapore and Canada. Singapore gained independence in 1965 and has a multiracial, multicultural population of approximately 5.8 million people, with approximately 74% of its people comprised of ethnic Chinese, 13% of its people comprised of Malays, and 9% comprised of Indians. Compulsory education in Singapore starts at approximately age 7 and finishes around age 17, split into two segments, the primary segment and secondary segment. Primarily, the Ministry of Education governs the schools in Singapore and provides oversight for its curriculum and evaluation and assessment system. Singapore has done extremely well in its young history as an independent nation, scoring number 1 on the PISA examinations over and over again until the latest release of the 2018 PISA, at which it's landed number 2 overall. A quick description of the second country, Canada. Canada is also very diverse, with an approximate population of 37.5 million people, and its population is approximately comprised of 32% Canadians, 18% English, 14% Scottish, 14% French, 13% Irish, 10% Germans, and approximately 5% Chinese. Its compulsory education begins at approximately age 6 and completes at approximately age 18. And Canada has also consistently shown as a top-performing nation on the PISA and is a leader in closing the achievement gap between its low-performing students and its high-performing students. My topic, statement, and question is this. This comparative research analysis study explores how Singapore, Canada, and the United States prepare and train their school leaders. A couple of key pieces of research. Singapore has 2 key pieces of research that is important to note. Singapore has created a career track for its teachers, according to Darling, Hammond, and Rothman, year 2011. The career tracks for its teachers comprises of 3 tracks, and they are teaching track, a senior specialist track, and a leadership track. The teaching track is meant for teachers who wish to be placed in this track and who have committed to meeting accreditation standards that are assessed through a professional portfolio. The senior specialist track is meant to develop a strong personnel for the Ministry of Education with a specialization in curriculum, planning, programs, and/or technology. And finally, the leadership track is geared to identify teacher leaders with strong potential towards school leadership. Teachers are placed into one of these tracks based on the assessment of their contributions to the holistic development of students. For example, quality of students' learning, pastoral care and well-being of students, co-curricular activities, and collaboration with parents. And this is cited out of Darling, Hammond, and Rothman's research from the year 2011. In addition to the career tracks, Singapore has developed the Leaders in Education program in 2001. And this is also cited by Retna and Ng, year 2009. Retna and Ng found that the Leaders in Education program emphasize school reform, innovation, and future orientation, and it replaces a previous leadership program based solely on mentoring. The 6-month full-time executive program prepares select vice principals and officers of the ministry for school leadership by matching them with an experienced principal and exposing them to real scenarios in schools. The participants of the Leaders in Education program also have the opportunity to visit other countries and learn about their educational systems. But perhaps most valuable of all for participants in the Leaders in Education program is that they are given the opportunity to acquire the skills and qualities necessary to successfully manage and lead parents, teachers, school boards, and members of the public. A couple of key pieces of research with regards to Canada. Canada established the Ontario Leadership Framework as according to Stewart in 2013 research. According to Stewart, the Ontario Leadership Framework identifies the practices of an effective leader as setting directions, building relationships, and developing people, developing the organization, leading the instructional program, and securing accountability. This research is also cited by Darling, Hammond, and Rothman in 2011. In addition, every principal is provided mentoring support for 2 years from an experienced principal. Additionally, Canada has also implemented successfully the Principal Appraisal Plan, where principals are appraised every 5 years and must set a few challenging goals based on the needs of the school and community. The Ministry of Education for Canada further show their commitment to the capacity building of their school leaders or principals through job-embedded professional development and collaboration. A couple of key points with regards to the juxtaposition of the 3 countries, Singapore, Canada, and the US. Singapore, as according to researcher Jayapragas, 2016, truly believes in the select, then train model versus train, then select. This belief was evident in Singapore's highly selective process for their Leaders in Education program. This, of course, is different from Canada and the United States, where both Canada and the United States hire school leaders who have completed a preparation program after their training. In addition, Singapore and Canada share the same practice of having a robust school leader evaluation tool. And according to Darling, Hammond, and Rothman, 2011, Singapore uses their enhanced performance management systems where they are assessed on their performance and leadership competencies, specifically in the following areas: vision for school, strategic planning and administration, development and management of staff, management of resources and school processes. Similarly, Canada uses their principal performance appraisal process as part of the appraisal process. Principals, as quoted by Darling, Hammond, and Rothman, in consultation with their supervisors, must set a few challenging yet achievable goals based on ministry, school board, school community, and personal priorities, and develop strategies to meet these goals. Different from Singapore and Canada, the United States, however, does not have a common principal evaluation system in place throughout the country. And finally, Singapore does something unique and differently from the other two countries in that it places leaders based on the needs of school and based on the strengths and the match of the school leader. This was founded by Darling, Hammond, and Rothman of 2011. In conclusion, I found that the U.S. can benefit from imitating Singapore's robust career track for teachers towards developing school leaders. I have also found that Singapore is very selective and intentional with the preparation and training of its school leaders. An example of that is, of course, their highly selective process for candidates in the Leaders in Education program. I have also found that Canada has a priority and a huge focus on capacity building with its leadership framework and with its principals or school leaders. And finally, the U.S. can borrow from both Singapore and Canada's robust school leader evaluation systems. And finally, I've included some references for you based upon my citations and my review. Thank you so much.